And a happy and prosperous 2021 to you all, our esteemed viewers. Welcome to another revealing edition of the program CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the achievements and activities of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I am Amina Jabril. And we start off with the cheering news of the company's regulation 2021 for the implementation of the CAMA 2020 has received the approval of the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otunba Niyi Adebayo. The Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, revealed that the over 100-page document was to be published on the Commission's website to enable customers keep abreast with the requirements for every application and the fee applicable. He further said that, with effect from 28th December 2020, manual submission of all post-incorporation applications will stop in order to ensure successful rollover to the newly upgraded system. He, however, said that all pending applications submitted manually before the due date will be treated by the Commission. He further revealed that, amongst others, application for CTCs will not be entertained, as under the new arrangement, only certified extracts will be availed to customers as part of the measures adopted to guard against fraud-related activities. The RG also revealed that, going forward, the CAC was exploring integration with National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, to enable it to verify identities of directors intending to register new companies without necessarily submitting physical copies of their IDs. He said, a similar collaboration with the Supreme Court was in the offing to enable the Commission obtain the true status of the lawyers it was dealing with. Garba Abubakar, who spoke extensively on staff welfare, said that despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, the Commission, under his stewardship, had cleared over 5 billion inherited tax and pension liabilities, and so far paid over 2.6 billion naira operating surplus to the federal government and still counting. He unveiled a new staff health insurance scheme, which he said was specially tailored to cover more ailments and interventions, including dialysis and cesarean operation, which were hitherto uncovered, adding that the Commission had paid upfront 200 million naira in the joint shared system. We say a very big congratulations to the CAC family for this milestone. And we move on now to yet another landmark achievement by the CAC under the stewardship of Alhaji Garba Abubakar, which is the upgrade of its company's registration portal to pave way for the implementation of the CAMA 2020. But we'll be right back after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Aside from ensuring transparency and accountability in governance, the Companies and Allied Matters Act CAMA 2020 is poised to ensuring efficiency and effectiveness, amongst others. On the 24th of December 2020, the Commission closed its CRP to ensure the much-needed upgrade. The process lasted till 3rd January 2021, and full end-to-end registration kicks off on Monday, 4th of January 2021 to, amongst others, enable customers print registration certificate with verifiable QR code on their own. Alhaji Garba Abubakar sheds more light on the cheering development.
How did the Commission fare in 2020, the year of the pandemic?
So we thank God. 2020 was a difficult year because of the pandemic and the various restrictions announced by the federal government to curb the spread of COVID-19. It was quite challenging for us in terms of service delivery because we are forced to work in the first instance with less than 20% of our staff, subsequently with about 40% before the lockdown was completely eased. And now, towards the end of the year, we have another restriction that allows only officers on level 13 and above to be coming to work. In terms of service delivery, it was difficult, but we were glad that even the World Bank was forced to suspend the ease of doing business measurement criteria for some other reasons. And for us in Nigeria, we were relatively lucky because The only time we were forced to close the registry was when we had total lockdown in the country. For countries like Uganda, Kenya, and South Africa, for about 6 months in the year, the registries were completely closed. For us, even when the registry was closed, some of our staff were still working from home. We provided them with devices, they had VPN access, and they were doing some approvals up to some limit. In terms of revenue, I could say this year, despite the pandemic, we were able to surpass our revenue projection. This was something that was not achieved in the last 5 years. We were able to surpass the revenue projections, and in terms of volume of transactions, we have recorded more transactions than in the previous 5 years, both on new registration and on post-registration services. And we were lucky. We had few incidents where our staff were infected with the COVID virus, but they had come out of it. We didn't record any fatality from COVID. And apart from these 2 or 3 staff, we were able to come out without any major incident, no major casualty. Some of them were they were in isolation for 2 weeks. After that, they came out stronger, and they are healthy now. So we thank God. It was a difficult year, I could say, but for us, we were able to give more money to government than we actually did in the last 5 to 6 years. And we are hoping that 2021 will be a better year.
Okay. Congratulations on the software upgrade. And now that it has been upgraded, what changes or innovations should Nigerians expect?
You know, because of the new law, the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, there are a lot of changes in the requirements for formation of companies, business names, and incorporated trustees. And hitherto, registration services, electronic registration services were only available for registration of new entities. The post-registration models were being done manually. Customers had to drop documents, either through designated courier companies or they send them by email. We process them manually, and we send the certified true copies to them manually. So the upgrade will enable customers to transact with us electronically end-to-end, both in terms of new registration and for post-registration filings. And under the new system, everything, as I have said, will be electronic. We will send certificates to customers electronically. We will send certified true copies of documents to customers electronically. So the physical presence of customers, which was dispensed with during the pandemic, will continue, because there won't be any need for customer to come to CAC, except where they want to do a due diligence search, which will come with a fee. Other than that, everything they will do in CAC can be done electronically. And one major difference that the new upgrade has provided is you use the same platform for all transactions. You upload your documents through the same platform. You do your data entry through the same platform. Unlike before, where we had different applications. The former application was in silos. We had a different document upload interface. We had a different document archival system. We had a different registration software. Everything is now consolidated. So customers will find it easier to transact with the CAC. And because results will be issued electronically, the time cycle for provision of these electronic services will be greatly reduced, because an approving officer will use one platform to approve. We are hoping that by the time the new system stabilizes, registration services can be done in less than 12 hours.
Okay.
Because what the new system will allow is our staff can work from anywhere. Once they can use their own devices to approve from home, even on weekends. In the past, we don't issue certificates of registration on weekends. We are going to dispense with that. There is no law that inhibits you from issuing certificate of incorporation on weekends. So approval can be done on weekends, certificates can be generated on a weekend, even on a Sunday, and we'll give you a certificate. So the new system, as I said, once it stabilizes, results will be issued within a matter of hours. For name approval, it can be done in less than 1 hour.
Okay.
So these are the innovations we are bringing to Nigerians, and this will coincide with my 1-year anniversary as a Registrar General.
Yes.
So moving forward, Nigerians...
And keeping to your promise that
Yes,
you take it end to end.
Yes, in fact, this is in fulfillment of this commitment. And moving forward, everything you will do with CAC will be electronic. And the new system also has an inbuilt public search window that will allow you to see basic information about the entity. Okay. And because of the requirements and the regulation that information on person with significant control, which is beneficial of ownership, will be available free of charge, the public search this time around will come with information about PSCs. So if you are a person with significant control, your details will be available. Any Nigerian can see it. If you own more than 5%, up to 5% of the shares of a company, or you control the appointment of majority of directors of the company, or you exert any form of influence or control in the manner the company is being managed, you qualify as a person with significant control. And by our regulation, the information about you will be publicly available. So any Nigerian can see it. The only difference is under the new system, you have a right to restrict certain personal information, like your residential address, on certain grounds. Once you meet the requirements, the Commission will block the residential address from the public register, and the person accessing the information can only see the service address. On our own part, because of concern about data privacy, we are also restricting the actual date of birth of an individual. Okay. We'll only put the month and the year. We will also not display the signature and the identification number of the individual. So signatures, moving forward, all certified true copy of documents will not come with the signatures of the individual. In place of certified true copy of forms, we'll be issuing certified extracts of the information that will give information about the entity as to the date it was registered, the name, the names of the directors, without their signatures and their actual date of birth. These are necessary measures because in the course of implementing the registration, carrying out these registration services, we had incidents of identity hijack. Somebody will come, obtain certified true copy of documents with the signatures of the directors. The next minute, they will go and forge the signatures and submit fresh documents to change the status of the entity. So you won't even see the signature for you to go and imitate and submit any fresh document to alter the status. So, and what the new system will also bring is every entity will have the option to have its own electronic account that they can use to file all their changes. Where such account is provided, they may decide to deal with the Commission directly. They also have the option to continue to transact through lawyers, accountants, or chartered secretaries. But we've also recognized the right of third parties to file information on entities in certain circumstances. For example, where a company borrows money and it is using its assets to secure those indebtedness, the law has given the right to the lender to apply to register the charge. So that right will be respected. The lender will have the right to file without restriction. So, and moving forward, we'll have, you can follow a company. If you want to know what is happening on that entity, you can subscribe to an SMS alert or email. Any change that is filed irrespective of that company, you get notification. But that will come with a fee, particularly the SMS. So this will be useful to directors and other stakeholders. Because if there is any untoward transaction irrespective of your company, you get notification. And that will actually give you the opportunity to object. If you are not privy to the changes and it was done surreptitiously, then you'll be able to object to it, and the Commission will look into these issues. And we are also trying to have integration with other regulatory agencies that will allow for electronic validation of information. I have mentioned the National Identity Card Management Agency. Yeah. When you submit your means of identification moving forward, you don't even need to scan. You put your identification number, and the system will validate your details, and it will automatically be accepted. So you move forward. So these are some of the innovations the system is bringing. But the identity validation is not yet on board. We are discussing with NIMSI to get the API. And we've introduced a lot of new innovations in terms of the kind of data that we are providing.
Go ahead.
Or in terms of the kind of information we are providing. Under the old regime, there was no provision for bulk data. When somebody wants information about any entity, if you want information about 1,000 entities, we charge 250 naira for every entity, regardless of the size of the information.
Okay.
Under the new system, you can subscribe to annual API, you pay an amount, or monthly API. We give you all the information about all the registered entities, aside from restricted information. So this will be cheaper for people that do large volume transactions. Okay. So these are some of the innovations, as I have said. Then we have new fee regime, particularly.
Yes, I'm sure that's where, that's the one that interests most Nigerians.
Yes.
Is the system upgrade reducing the fee or increasing the fee?
Yes, we have some fee reductions in certain areas, and in other areas we have unified the fees. And for certain transactions, we have increased the fees because they are premium services. The reduction comes on new registration. In the past, when you register a company, you have to pay for a certified true copy of documents. You have to pay for a certified true copy of memoranda and articles of association, and certified copy of the forms. We have dispensed with the fee for certified true copies. So automatically, when you pay the registration fee, you will get a certified copy of the memoranda as well as the extracts that gives you the current status of the company in terms of the directors, the date of registration, the registration number, and the shareholders. In terms of other post-incorporation filings, in the past we had discriminatory fee regime, where different fees were charged for different transactions. We tried to unify these fees. So moving forward, depending on whether it is a small company, a company other than a small company, or a public company, the fee you will pay may be uniform for change of directors, change of address, allotment of shares, winding up, appointment of receiver, the fee will be uniform. Under the old regime, there were certain fees, sometimes as much as 50,000 for certain transactions. So we try to now have a uniform rate of 5,000, minimum of 5,000 for all transactions. And our fee for certified true copies is also 5,000 now. In the past, in certain transactions, we pay 2,000. But because we are issuing a consolidated report that covers the whole gamut of the company in terms of its registration, its directors, its shareholders, whether there are transactions on charges, whether it's a receivership, whether it's under winding up. So we will be charging 5,000 naira for this comprehensive report. This will not apply to new registration because it will not compromise on the service timeline on new registration. But for post-registration, customers can pay a premium to get their filings done within the same day, provided they file this application before 1 p.m. of that day. Okay. Then they'll get results the same day. But we will do it in a manner that will not compromise on our service timeline for other customers. So where for all services, you have a service timeline of 3 days or 5 days, we'll ensure that we provide results within the published service timeline. But for customers that have urgent transactions that they must close on that same day, they will be able to do that. We are also introducing launch VIP services. Okay. Customers that have multiple transactions can walk in, pay the VIP service fee.
How much is the VIP service fee?
You pay 100,000 naira for multiple transactions, apart from the filing fee. So you come and stay in a launch, we'll attend to your request, process your application. No matter the number, we'll give you your document the same day. Okay. If it is a single transaction, you pay extra fee of 50,000 naira. We used to have same-day incorporation at an extra cost of 50,000 naira. We dispense with that because of uniformity. They need to have uniformity on the registration time cycle for new incorporation. But this will only apply to first registration. So we know that certain customers, particularly where you have investors that want to do due diligence on an entity, and they want to get results immediately, or sometimes a company is required to submit information to another regulatory authority to close on a transaction. It may be a matter of extreme urgency. If you prioritize, that will be to the detriment of other customers, and you'll be accused of favoring one customer over the other. In virtually all jurisdictions of the world, the best registries in the world, they have this kind of arrangement, where you can have a premium service. It's obtainable in Dubai. They have premium service in Dubai. They have it in UK. They have it in Singapore.
All right. In the era of cyber attack, cyber insecurity. Just how safe and secured is your data? What assurance are you giving Nigerians that your data will be safe and secured?
Well, the good thing about our data is, for existing entities, apart from the electronic record, we have physical record of every entity. But under the new system, everything will be electronic. So we may not be printing documents and putting them in files, because we are getting to a point where we don't even have storage space for some of these files. But the assurance I want to give is, we'll use our best endeavors, the best of resources, to have a database that is in a secured environment. But cyber attack is not peculiar to Nigeria. Even the best countries of the world, like the US, have suffered some of these attacks in the past. But we'll continue to strengthen the security, to continue to host in an environment that has the best of security facilities, so as to guarantee the safety and security of the information we're keeping.
Okay. Now, the stakeholders meetings will be shelved because of the COVID-19 protocols. So people will have to do with the multimedia channels that you're putting on,
yes, we are putting a multimedia.
Yes. So how efficient will they be?
If you observe, CAC has been one of the few agencies that actually provides self-service portal. Okay. Most other government organizations that claim to have self-service portal, it's actually limited. Okay. You need a lot of intervention. Sometimes you have to go through their offices to facilitate these transactions for you. But in CAC, you can do a transaction end-to-end. And our website has been one of the most active websites. We constantly update information. We tweet. We have a YouTube account. We have a Facebook account. So you can access through any of these medium. The multimedia will be available, as we have said, and you'll be able to know. And the portal is also user-friendly. All the requirements are provided on the portal. So if you are used to the former portal, you can easily navigate this new portal, because all the requirements are stated. At every point, you are guided on what to do, the kind of information you are required to submit. And there are certain fields that are mandatory. If you don't provide information on those fields, you won't even be able to proceed. So customers that are already familiar with the whole application will find it easier to transact on the new portal.
Okay. Where is the place of the ordinary Nigerian who cannot read, who cannot write, and who doesn't have the money to pay a stakeholder or an expert, to help him with the registration? Where's the place of that Nigerian in the whole of this process?
No, since 2014, sorry, or I could say 2017, the Commission has dispensed with the mandatory requirement that you must go through an agent before you can transact with it. So as a Nigerian, you have the right to create an account on the company registration portal. The only requirement is you must be one of the owners or directors of that company, because we didn't want to allow touts to hijack that interface. So once you create that account as a public user, when you come to register, your details must automatically pop up. We don't allow physical presence of customers in Lagos and Abuja, but other state offices, you can walk into our offices and they can assist you. Okay. And moving forward, we intend to have a special window for ordinary Nigerians that may not afford to pay the services of legal practitioners, that don't even know how to use internet, they don't know how to use computer. They can walk into our offices and get their companies or businesses registered by our officers. We'll collect the information, key in the information, generate the certificates, and give it to them. We have this system in Hong Kong and other countries. But, you have to be careful, because we've faced a lot of resistance from lawyers in particular. The belief is we are taking away our job. There was this wrong assumption that company registration is the exclusive preserve of lawyers. The law didn't say so. Even the old law that says a legal practitioner must be posted to a declaration that the requirements of the law has been complied with didn't say that the documents must be prepared by a lawyer. If I know how to prepare my documents, I can prepare my documents. I'll present it to a lawyer to sign on my behalf, and I can present it to CAC directly. So what I will pay the lawyer is not the cost of registration. It's just the cost of authentication. But thank God the new law has been dispensed with that. You have the option, as one of the owners, to do a statement of compliance, which doesn't have to be under oath. Once that statement is made, and you can go ahead. Even before the new law, the Commission has actually relaxed the process in line with the ease of doing business initiatives, where As a public user, the commission will do the declaration on your behalf. All you need to pay was to pay 500 naira. Even the 500 naira now is no longer necessary.
All right. Alhaji Garba Abubakar, Registrar General Corporate Affairs Commission, thank you very much indeed for your time. And we wish you a most rewarding 2021.
Thank you for having me, Hajia. I wish you the same. Thank you.
And this is where we wrap up this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. For comments and inquiries, please take advantage of our social media handles and helplines. On Twitter, it is at CAC Nigeria 1. On Instagram and Facebook, it is Corporate Affairs Commission. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng and our website is www.cac.gov.ng. Our helplines are 081-822-99016 or 081-822-98971, 090-874-01598 or 090-874-01599 and 090-8740-1600. Do join us next week for another interesting edition of the program. Same time, same station. From me, Amina Jibril, and the whole team here, it is bye for now.